going?
Yeah. Play something short.
Good morning. My name is Jane Perkins. Our service leader today is the Reverend Dr. Lori Whittemore, and we are glad to be here today. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Saco and Biddeford. This service is being live streamed and recorded. For those of you joining us on YouTube, we encourage you to have a candle or chalice to light when we light ours here in a few moments. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad you are here with us today. The theme for this month is belonging. Compassion, sorry. Have one too many notes. We invite you to contemplate the theme of compassion today and as you go forward into the new week. There are just a couple of announcements. Aging to Saging, which is a program, began this past week, and the decision was made to close the group after the second meeting in November. So if you would like to participate, please come to the November meeting. After that, the group will be closed. There is a religious exploration meeting after church. We have hired a coordinator, and he will start on November 2nd. You can come hear more about him and talk about how we all can support the RE program. We commit to be co-stewards of this land owned by the Wabanaki Confederation and to work toward a world that is just and thriving for the whole web of life. We invite you to take home the order of service for information and announcements, or you may leave it for recycling as you exit the sanctuary. Please silence your cell phones. There will be a social hour, AKA coffee hour, in the parish hall after the service. Please join us for conversation.
Please join me in the words for lighting our chalice. This is our sacred promise, to gather together in peace, to seek truth in love, to serve human need, so that all shall grow in harmony with the divine. To all you newcomers and long-timers alike, it's wonderful to see your faces this morning. This morning we gather in the spirit of compassion, the deep awareness of our shared humanity, and the courage to let that awareness guide how we live. Here, we are reminded that compassion is not only a feeling of the heart, but a practice of our hands, a way of moving through the world that brings love to life. That is our sacred promise, after all. May this time together renew our hearts and reawaken our courage and inspire us to turn our compassion in action, because the world needs us right now, and we need the world. Welcome. And please join me by standing as you're willing and able to sing hymn number 188. The choir is going to lead us in this to teach us the rounds of Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
There we go. Oh, hello. Yeah, so many of you know this song, some of you might not, and we are going to divide the room into four parts, and we're going to use the door as the divider. So Matt, where are you? I saw you back there somewhere. Okay, so are you at the door? I think you're at the door, aren't you? Yes, okay, so from Matt back is going to be the back part. So this is going to be group 1 over here, group 2 back there, group 3 over here, and group 4, we've just got a few of you, but you have great leaders. You all have great leaders. So we're going to sing it through once. Paul will play it through once. We'll sing it through once, and then you're going to sing it in a round 3 times. And when you're done with your part, you just keep singing, "Come, yet again, come," and your leaders will lead you. Here we go, Paul. Everybody.
Where we greet our neighbors. Hey, neighbor.
How's it going? Good. Going good. I like that color in there. Oh, thank you.
getting into the season where it becomes more important to disinfect the microphone between people. This is the time in our service when we share with one another what may be in our hearts, whether it's a great joy or a deep sorrow. If you want to come up, tell us who you are, share what you're holding, and we'll take it on board.
I'm Edith, and I lit a candle of gratitude for all your prayers and support in my recent medical adventure. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Peggy, and I lit a candle for an aunt who passed away, and I attended her celebration of life in Michigan. What has transpired for me at the celebration was that I'm losing a whole generation. I only have one aunt left and one uncle, and with them go the stories of our family. And so I really am hoping to begin to figure out how to hold on to those beautiful family stories.
Good morning. My name is Sonia. And on Friday, I got a phone call from a young immigrant girl that we have known since she was 16, and she's 22 now. She's been living with her aunt and her two cousins, and it had become untenable for her, and she needed a place to stay. So I tried to call Matt. I couldn't reach him to get permission. So I said, yes, come, and then we'll figure things out. And then yesterday, as we're trying to figure things out, our hearts were softening a little. And then I was practicing the song, the last song we're going to sing. And the words just told me that she needs to stay with us. And we will make do when company comes next week. So keep her in your heart. Her name is Maria. And she's going to get back on her feet.
I'm Catherine, and I lit this candle for all of us because I think we are stronger than everything that's out there. And the second thing I wanted to say was we are doing the Christmas fair this year. Miss Wendy is a beautiful mentor, and Miss Myra is my co-lady, sparkling over there. So after this, we're going to have sign-up sheets. Out there, we're going to need a lot of help. Miss Ann is going to be retiring from Grammy's Addict. So there's a lot of changes that are coming, and hopefully we can pull this off together. So thank you for being here. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Ellie. I just lit a candle of gratitude to our mighty little choir. They show up every other Sunday or a couple times a month, never knowing what I'm going to throw at them, and then they come through, and they are amazing, and I so love and appreciate them.
Hi, good morning. I'm Kelsey, and I just wanted to say a word of gratitude for Deb. It's Lipsky, right? That's her name. Deb Lipsky, a group of us went up to her property yesterday, and it was a beautiful day, and there were colorful leaves, and she brought us into the pine grove, and we got soaked in all the good, yummy things from the trees, and shared lunch, and went on a walk, and she's so knowledgeable, and the kids had fun, and the kids went on the pony, and I went on the pony, and and it was just a really wonderful time. So if and whenever Deb offers that time at her place again, I highly recommend going up to Baldwin. And she's so knowledgeable and just really shared so much of her time and her energy and her expertise and compassion with us, and it was really great. So thinking about her today.
Thank you, Kelsey. We do have so many talented people who share so openly with all of us that gratitude certainly is something that we keep. Final candle is for those thoughts that we hold in our hearts that are unspoken. May we carry what we've heard here today with us as we go forward into the week. Thank you.
Please take a deep breath. Drop into yourself, into your stomach. Feel that air go all the way down your body and ground your feet into the ground. And be in the spirit of prayer and reflection with me. God of many names, source of all there is, we have shared together what is on our hearts and minds. There are new beginnings to be had. Give us strength for all that we step into. There are incredible losses that cannot be replaced. Send us comfort and strength in the gifts that came before. The joy of voices, the joy of commitment. Let us give thanks for that amongst each other and amongst the folks who serve us. And more step forward to serve us. Let us raise gratitude for that as well. And for those who share their space and their joy and their expertise, let us hold them up in our hearts and in this place, that we grow in knowledge and spirit and our circle grows even wider. And for all of those joys and sorrows that reside in us, for all our hopes and our dreams and our worries, grant us peace and strength. And may it be so. And join me in singing Spirit of Life.
Today's reading is Compassion in Motion, written by Reverend Dr. Lori Whittemore. Compassion begins as stirring in the heart, the quiet ache when we witness another's pain. But its true power is revealed only when it moves our hands, our feet, our words. Compassion without action is like a seed left unplanted, full of promise, yet unable to bear fruit. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is a prayer made visible. To listen without judgment, to offer help without expectation, to stand beside someone in their struggle. These are sacred acts. When we move from feeling compassion to living it, we become instruments of healing in a world that longs for care. Love becomes not just something we feel, but something we do.
Now please stand as you're willing and able and join me in singing Love Will Guide Us. Please be seated. Turning compassion into action. We start by talking about the hands of compassion. The Buddha taught that compassion, the word is karuna, is not only a feeling, but a practice, a way of moving through the world with awareness and care. To feel another's suffering is the first step. And then to act with wisdom and kindness is the next. And the biggest challenge, I'm sure, because it's a challenge to me and it's my job, is to feel another's suffering, to sit with another in their suffering. When compassion remains only in the heart, however, it is an unlit lamp. And when we let it guide our hands and our words and our choices and our actions, it becomes light for all beings. Jesus spoke of this in a way that I think sometimes gets misinterpreted, and certainly it does in these times. Jesus said in Matthew 5:15, which is indeed the Sermon on the Mount, "Nor do people light a lamp and put it in a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all the house and all the world." And I talk about that light in our church. He's referring to when you find love, when you find peace, when you drop into who you are supposed to be, you don't cover that up. When you live your principles, you don't cover that up. You let the world see it. You let your friends see it. I talk about us being beacons right now because we need to be. Offering a sober coffee house, which we're doing, is an experience that welcomes all. An inclusive, safe coffee house that's more than sober, that's welcoming of people who love differently, who live differently. That's a way we put our love into action. Each moment that we live, it offers us a chance to embody compassion, to speak gently, to listen deeply to one another, to relieve suffering by sitting there with it. In this way, our daily actions become the path itself, and our lives become an offering of love and mindfulness when we can be fully present for those who can't or aren't called to march anymore, for instance, in these days when we are marching again. There is still so much to do. There is so much to contribute. And sometimes, as we're talking about in Aging to Saging, it's not about doing, it's about being, about embodying compassion. And I know I said that if you're not putting it into action, you're not being it. But being compassionate and being in your compassion and showing and sharing is indeed also being compassionate. And so many ways to turn compassion into action that are not obvious. Our Unitarian Universalist faith calls us to many things: to seek truth, to respect the inherent worth and dignity of every person, which is an action, to promote justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, which is an action. But of all of these, compassion with each other may be the hardest to live into, and compassion in the world for others who think differently than us is super hard to live into, but it's the most powerful action we can take, living that compassion. Now, we all know compassion when we feel it. That's stirring in the heart when we witness suffering or injustice, and we feel that a lot lately. The ache when we hear a story of loss or loneliness that is shared here or anywhere else. We feel that deep tenderness that connects us to each other's humanity. But compassion is one of those most sacred parts of being alive because it makes us feel our own humanness. And not a lot of things today in life make us feel our own humanness. Society feels like it exists to disconnect us, to make us feel what's important in the world: money, power. But those aren't what is important. Remaining human and present as humans for other humans, that's what counts. And that's what we talk about here. And that is what we strive to live. Compassion ends the feeling alone. It nourishes nothing until it moves into action. To turn compassion into action means allowing our hearts to not only be open, but also brave and willing to reach out and to listen to people who think differently, to people who annoy us, to step forward even when it's not comfortable, to have conversations that make us feel bad. And all of that means translating our love into movement. Many spiritual traditions speak of compassion as the meeting of wisdom and love. The Buddha taught that compassion without wisdom can become sentimentality, and that wisdom without compassion is cold wisdom, is useless wisdom. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition offers a similar truth. The faith must live in both the heart and in the hands. And again, that doesn't mean that you're out on the streets protesting. Please do if you can, if that feels like a call. But it also means living your compassion in ways with each other that is visible to others. When we gather on Sunday mornings, we often speak words of care and concern for those among us who are hurting and grieving, and that's a great thing here. These are acts of compassion in the heart, in the flame, and they matter deeply. But the next step, the sacred step, is to ask, okay, what do I do now? And sometimes the answer is simple: a card, a meal, a phone call, and those things matter so much. Just ask anyone. You heard it this morning, actually. We do that very well here, consistently putting our compassion for those amongst us into action. Sometimes it means standing up for someone whose voice is silenced, even here. We do that well also. We do that for the world. We write postcards, we make signs, sometimes we're present at protests. We have a banner, a beautiful banner. And sometimes, though, it also means changing systems within the church and outside the church, joining others to work for justice, fairness, equity, dignity. We've been part of movements. We subscribe to MUSAN. Can somebody say what MUSAN is? Maine Unitarian Universalist State Advocacy Network. I never remember that, but we are a part of that, and they are doing legislative work, systemic work, and we can be a part of that, and we are a part of that. Our compassion calls us not only to ease immediate suffering, but also transform the conditions that create it, and therefore transform the world. So here are my 3 things this week. Compassion to transform us. Active compassion to transform ourselves. Active compassion to take care of each other. And active compassion to put the wheels in motion to change the systems. Those are the 3 kinds of compassion in action. And I'm sure you have other suggestions. And I know one thing I meant to include and I didn't, but it's also part of that systemic change. And I feel like Deb Lipsky called us into that. Compassion in nature, to protect and care for it and be a part of it, because it has so much to teach us. Now, we often imagine compassion in action as something grand, volunteering abroad, organizing a march, giving generously to charity. But the truth is that compassion's deepest work is often the small, quiet moments when we take time to listen without rushing in to fix or judge or withdraw ourselves into a comfortable place, when we choose kindness over convenience, over old grudges, when we choose to forgive rather than hold on to anger. We are shaping the world in subtle but profound ways. And I think it was Margaret Mead that said, one small person can't change the world, but they can do, you can correct me later, one thing. And because we can only do one thing, we shouldn't not do it. Being kind, modeling kindness. We change the world because we change ourselves and we change the people we are amongst. Every time we act with compassion, we widen the circle of belonging. We say to another human being, you are not alone. And that message, that simple, sacred message, has the power to change someone's life. You are not alone. The poet Naomi Shihab Nye once wrote, before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. You must lose things. She reminds us that compassion grows not from perfection, but from our shared vulnerability. It's our own appreciation for loss, fear, tenderness, our own weakness, that make our compassion real. That is the profound message that came to me this week while I was preparing for this. And I actually stumbled across a passage in the Tao Te Ching as a part of my work for Aging to Saging group that we're just beginning. Many of you understand this already, but it bears lifting up. The power in the world is not really in those who stand tall and shout and bully. That's not where the power is. The power in the world, the true power, is in those who nurture, who meet the suffering where it is and hold it. Because suffering does transform us. Suffering does awaken us. And in that awakening, we awaken to our full humanity. So nurturing that, walking with that, is where the true power of the world is. And I'm going to just get a little theological because I love to do that. True power is walking with reality, not trying to control it for power or pride. And when I was in seminary, I was in a Woman in the New Testament course, which was new for the seminary, and I loved it. And I researched and wrote a transformative message of Christ being that of the power, or Christ's power, was in the chalice, not the phallus. That phrase came to me so clearly when I read the Tao this week. In the fertile valleys between the mountains, they hold the nutrients. They are the fertile grounds. The mountains that stand tall stand out. They are beacons to walk to. But the rain washes the nutrients off the side of them. And where does it wash it? In the valleys that nurture it. So, I have to say, my chalice, not phallus, didn't hold well with my male professor. And for a lot of reasons, I wasn't too popular there. But it is so fitting and wonderful that I would find my way to a tradition that has the chalice a part of its symbol. Because without even being a militant feminist, and I'm not, well, I'm probably more than I used to be, but the recognition that it is in the nurture and the acceptance and the honoring feels the most sacred of anything we could possibly do. Holding the world rather, and this is theological, sacrificing or martyring or controlling through kingdom and empire language. How beautiful is a tradition that requires us to recognize humanity and recognize that humans are whole and worthy and not creatures that are fallen or wicked. How beautiful is that? What a way to gather together. Now, I don't say this to trash Christianity, by the way. It is a beautiful tradition, and I still have a foot in that door, and it informs me every day. But the message of Christ to me, the message of the New Testament, the whole point of it is love, and I hate that people don't recognize that. And I hate that they're completely distorting it. Love, contemporizing the edicts and laws of the Old Testament into the modern reality of a Greek followed by Roman occupation, contextualizing what didn't even serve anymore into the modern day reality of the new millennium. That's what it was. The Sermon on the Mount, frankly, is what everyone needs to know to live a good, righteous life. It's the whole point of Christianity, and right now that's lost in so many Christian churches. It's a message about compassion and acceptance and service to others. It's a message about serving, not enslaving or imprisoning or excluding or hurting. That's what our wisdom traditions teach us. Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism. It's not about power. It's about compassion. And of course, compassion isn't easy. It asks us to stay present with pain, as I said, our own, in order to sit with another's pain. And when our instinct is often to turn away from it, because nobody likes to be in pain, nobody likes discomfort. It challenges us to care for people we may not understand, or we may not like, or we may disagree with. It challenges us to show up and be present, even in the discomfort. It means right relationship is our ultimate goal. So even when we're uncomfortable with something, an argument, a relationship, the ultimate call in compassion is to show up and represent ourselves and have the conversation and work towards repair. And in our complex world, compassion can sometimes feel overwhelming. How can one person care for so many who are suffering right now? The victims of war and genocide that's going on, the unhoused, the lonely, the aging, the immigrants, the planet itself. And the need can feel endless. It shuts me down regularly. Here is where our Unitarian Universalist community becomes essential. We don't have to carry compassion alone. We carry it together. We share it, which multiplies it. And when one person grows weary, another's strength carries the flame. We carry the flame here. We carry it into coffee hour. We carry it to First Fridays in many other ways now. And together, our compassion becomes not a drop in the ocean, but a rising tide. That whole butterfly effect of one drop creates ripples that spread. The smallest ripples spread. That's our call. As the Buddhist teacher Jack Kornfeld said, compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. We said this last week, right? As we welcomed Joe to talk to us about their community. It's not we're not helping anyone. We're not fixing anyone. It's a relationship between equals. When we act compassionately, we are not rescuing anyone. We are remembering our shared humanity. Supporting their organization needs to come from a place that doesn't other them. It needs to come from a recognition that we are all addicted to something. We all have unhelpful coping skills. And sometimes it's a little, but sometimes it's a lot. And sometimes addiction becomes very unhealthy, but we are on that spectrum. So supporting others in their journey, knowing that as we accompany them and lift them up if we can, our journey will be informed and inspired. We will become well. Maybe that sounds selfish, but they will have things to teach us. And that's our shared humanity. That's our shared suffering. When we are vulnerable to the conversation, we are as human as they are. We honor their inherent worth and dignity. And therefore, we honor our own and each other's here. So turning compassion into action is not a single event. It's a practice of doing this again and again. We grow into it. We remind each other here. We do it every time we show up. We can begin each day with an intention. I'll share some words. Maybe when you wake up, may I meet whatever comes today with an open heart. May I meet whatever comes today with an open heart, which means I will remain vulnerable and present to whatever comes to me today. When someone cuts you off in traffic or posts a bad meme, may we respond with patience instead of anger. May we respond with patience instead of anger. Compassion in action. When we see someone struggling, may we take a moment to ask what they need. May we feel despair about the state of the world. May we look for one small, meaningful way to help. May we commit to not being overwhelmed by what we see, but finding our one tangible way that we can contribute or help. As small as it may be, let's remember that butterfly effect. And when someone is brave enough to share their pain, sit with them in it. If they allow you, always let somebody have the agency to allow you, so they aren't alone. And don't fix it and don't cheer them up. Sit with them in it. And when someone is brave enough to share their hurt or anger at you, at us, at someone else, don't turn away. Meet them with gratitude for being brave and willing to bring it to the table to work on. That's one of the hugest gifts out there, to give us the chance to transform relationships and not discard them. It's huge. We practice compassion not to become saints, but to stay human, fully, beautifully, courageously human. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we understand compassion as both personal and collective. It calls us to care not only for those close to us, but those we will never meet. It urges us to see justice itself as a form of compassion, extended through community and policy and how we organize ourselves here. When we advocate, if we're looking outward and not in the community, when we advocate, for instance, for fair wages, for housing, for health care, for education, for safety for our immigrant brothers and sisters, we are putting compassion into action. When we protect the environment, when we share the knowledge of the environment with each other to grow our appreciation for the woods, we are showing compassion for generations yet unborn. When we challenge systems of oppression, racism, sexism, homophobia, ableism, we are embodying the deep spiritual truth that we are all interconnected and that we are all worthy. The seventh principle of Unitarian Universalism, oops, I lost it. Oops, I totally lost it. That's good because it's getting late, actually. Oh, here we go. Here we go. When one person's heart grows weary, another's strength can carry the flame. That's what all of this is about. And together, our compassion becomes not a drop in the ocean, but the rising tide. Oh, no, that's from before. Wait a minute. Stay with me. The iPad's a great thing until you lose your place. All right. There's a story told in many Buddhist circles about a monk who comes across a wounded bird, a monk leader who's in charge of many people. He stops his journey to tend to that bird, gently wrapping its wing and staying by its side. And later, when asked why he delayed his whole company's travels for such a small creature, he said, "To care for one life is to care for all life." And in that simple act, we see the heart of compassion in action. An understanding that no being is insignificant, no being, and that every care, every act ripples outward. We don't need to grandstand to save on a global scale, even though we talked about those 3 ways of putting compassion into action. Any place you step into it, any person you listen to, changes the world. And here in our own congregation, we see it too. When members cook for each other, when volunteers help create hospitality, when we show up for justice rallies or help out in the RE room, or just listen to one another. Those are the small yet monumental things. And these are the ways our faith and our belief system calls us to be. Now, I had a meditation, but it's getting late. So I'm just going to end now with some words that would have been part of a meditation. Take a deep breath, please. Hear these words, and maybe wake up with them tomorrow and the next day. May our compassion not only remain in our hearts, but flow outwards as wise and loving action for the benefit of all beings. May our compassion not only remain in our heart, but flow outward as wise and loving action for the benefit of all beings. May our compassion not remain in our heart, but flow outward as wise and loving action for the benefit of all beings, to ourselves, to our community, and to the world. And may it be so. Phew, I talked a while. Jeez. Oh. Oh, was the awkward transition is this morning's offertory. When we gather together as a community, we bring the gifts of ourselves, our hearts, our spirits, our time and energy, our talents, our skills to support the work of the church here within our walls and out in the larger community. We also bring the gift of generosity, giving of what we have so the work can continue, the lights can stay on, the coffee can be made. And as always, half our offering is sent out into the larger community to groups that are doing great work. This month, we're sharing our offering plate with Portland Treatment's Discretionary Fund. If you're watching from home, donations may be made through the Give button at the top of our webpage, uuchurchsacobiddeford.org, or checks may be mailed to UUCSB 60 School Street, Saco. This morning's offering will now be received. Please join me in the words for extinguishing our chalice. As we release this flame from its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion, to fire our delight, to light our paths today, tomorrow, and always. Remain standing and join me in singing hymn 1014. The actual title is Fire of Commitment, and the choir is going to help us with that one.
The actual number is 1028.
Oh, 1028. 1028, or up there. Please be seated. We have gathered in love, and now we go to live that love. May our hearts be open, our hands be ready, and our spirits be steady in the work of compassion for ourselves, for our community, and for the world. For every act of kindness is a prayer. Every moment of care is a holy moment. Go in peace now and let compassion guide your way.
That's not the right note, is it?
Thank you, Paul, for that pickup.
With a mind that holds a plan, with a hand that holds a key, with a heart that holds a dream, love reaches out. When a family's torn apart, when the street is all you have, when your faith begins to break, love reaches out. Love reaches out, love reaches out, here by your side, bringing you home, love reaches out. Through the pain your eyes have seen, through the voices in your head, through the war you still endure, love reaches out. To the man who asks for change, to the mother and the child, to the elder all alone, love reaches out. Love reaches out. Love reaches out. Here by your side, bringing you home, love reaches out. Let us take this time to strengthen and inspire. Let love and compassion be the source that fills the fire. If you find yourself in need, if you fear what lies ahead, if we forge a path of trust, love reaches out. Where hope replaces hate, where wounds begin to heal, where we all will have a home, love reaches out. Love reaches out. Love reaches out. Here by your side, bringing you home, love reaches out. Love reaches out. Love reaches out. Here by your side, bringing you home, love reaches out.
Our service is now concluded. Thank you so much for joining us. We have coffee hour. Please join us if you're new and sign the book so I can stalk you with a card. And remain seated for the postlude.